Danny Bryant, welcome to Radio Max.
Pleasure to be here.
I just read that the classic rock magazine called you the national blues treasure. So, to be honest, when I think about blues musicians from Great Britain, you know, the only name that pops up in my head is just like Gary Moore. I mean, he's from Belfast.
Yeah.
But so I have no imagination, to be honest. How is the blues culture in England and Great Britain? You know, where are the hot spots?
Well, it has a rich culture because a lot of the American guys came over in the 50s, actually through two German promoters that put together a thing called Folk Festival of the Blues. And these guys went to Germany, and they brought back a whole array of Chicago blues musicians, and they toured with them all through Europe. And then that got a whole generation of young people like Jimmy Page and Eric Clapton into blues music, and so we have a rich heritage of blues in the UK. And then in turn, a lot of the American guys started listening to the blues guys in England, and it went backwards and forwards, and it's like a cross-pollination.
Ich habe ihn gerade gefragt, wie eben so diese Blues-Kultur in England, in Großbritannien aussieht, denn ich persönlich habe da immer nur Gary Moore am Schirm und wollte jetzt einfach mal von ihm wissen, wie denn da so die Kultur und Subkultur vom Blues auf den Inseln drüben ist. Und tatsächlich ist es eine reiche Blueskultur. Er hat gerade gesagt, da kamen viele aus den USA rüber und auch durch deutsche Promoter wurden sie quasi in England vorgestellt, schon ab den 50er Jahren. Und so hat sich da auch in England eine große Blueskultur entwickelt, von der ich jetzt auch nichts wusste. Aber dafür ist ja Danny Bryant heute hier, um uns den englischen Blues etwas näher zu bringen. You've been very keen and hardworking during the last 10 years.
Yeah.
So since 2009, there have been 13 releases plus the new one in September.
Yeah.
That's a whole lot of, music. How does it come? Are you so often feeling the blues? What?
Yeah, it's not so much that. Sometimes, I take a year to write an album, not consciously, but when it's time to do an album, I have a year's worth of material that I've stockpiled. Other times, I know I'm going in the studio and it has to be written within a month. But it really is. I mean, the amount of work we put out is really to keep my interest up and the audience's interest, because we tour a lot. So I want to have a new set every 18 months. I want to have something new for people to hear and something new for me to play.
So that sounds like, like many musicians do, like touring and new inspiration. Ich hab ihn gerade gefragt, er war ziemlich fleißig. In den letzten 10 Jahren hat er 13 Alben rausgehauen und jetzt dann im September das 14. Ob er so oft traurig ist, ob er so oft den Blues verspürt oder ob er tatsächlich so kreativ ist. Und er sagt, ja, kommt ganz drauf an. Manchmal schreibt er ein Jahr lang an einem Album, aber manchmal, wenn er dann auf Tournee ist, dann kommt die Inspiration und dann wird geschrieben und dann ist er fleißig, der Danny. We could do something like a quick and dirty mode.
Yeah,
I would say so.
Sounds good to me. Quick and dirty.
Quick and dirty.
Some of my favorite times are quick and dirty.
I give you, 10 questions,
Yep.
and you will answer them as, short and on point.
Okay.
So, number 1,
Yep.
favorite guitarist,
Walter Trout.
favorite song,
Tennessee Whiskey, Chris Stapleton.
best place to visit,
Berlin,
most impressive person you met,
Carlos Santana.
favorite food,
Chinese food.
Irish, Scotch, or bourbon whiskey,
Bourbon, definitely, all day.
3 items and 1 person you would take with you on an island.
My wife, my guitar, and some bourbon whiskey.
That's good. I see you like the bourbon. Football or rugby,
A football,
Fender or Gibson,
Fender,
pub crawl or Netflix and chill.
pop crawl.
I'm with you. So that was the quick and dirty mode. Thank you for that.
Enjoyed that one.
And, another question. Okay, I read that your recent album, or the upcoming album, also was produced or post-produced in Nashville, Tennessee.
It was engineered in the UK by a guy called Ian Dowling, who has a Grammy for working with Adele and
Katie Tunstall.
Katie Tunstall
as far as I
and
know, right?
a whole load of people. And then it was mixed by Eddie Spear in Nashville. And the reason I keep saying this in interviews, but we chose Modern Guys because just because it's blues, I still wanted an album that sounded fresh and vibrant, and I wanted to use some modern guys, you know, that work with, you know, Lady Gaga and people like that, because
So it's more about the knowledge, and not about.
I mean the songs are still blues. I mean it's not a what I'd call a modern album. It's not a pop album. It's a straight blues. It's probably more of a bluesy album than I've done, but it there's no reason for it not sonically to be as high as quality as it can possibly be.
All right. The question behind was, or what I wanted to go for was like, do you have any personal, you know, connection to Nashville because it's a kind of music capital, more for country?
No, it was just that I put together a list of people I really wanted to work with, and Eddie Spear was at the top of that because I just looked through a whole list of records that I loved the sound of the mixes, and his name kept coming up, and so I contacted him, and I wasn't sure if I'd get an answer, and he said, let me listen to the music, and he said, oh, I like it, yeah, I'll do it.
Also, sein Album Means of Escape, das wurde in England produziert von einem sehr bekannten und sehr erfolgreichen Produzenten, der unter anderem auch Katie Tunstall und Adele produziert hat. Und dann zu einer Art Post-Production wurde es dann in Nashville gefertigt. Und ich wollte einfach von ihm wissen, ob er eine persönliche Bindung zu Nashville hat. So, you know, what was your inspiration? If you know, think about escape, it's like it could be a personal escape, it could be refugees, whatever.
Yeah.
So I sensed that it was more like a personal thing, a personal escape.
For me, yeah, music. I mean, that's lyrically that's what it's about. But I mean, it could be anything for anybody.
Right.
You know, how it came about was I was in a hotel and I saw on the window when I was getting out the shower Means of Escape, and I kind of thought that's kind of how I see music, you know.
All right, so music.
So if I'm depressed or down or worried or anxious or happy, anything, it's my means of escape.
So it's always music, or is there any other strategy
for? Well, that's the positive thing, you know. I mean, it's always music. People can turn to drugs, alcohol, gambling, anything can be a means of escape. But a positive one for me is music.
So that's true. I think that's a good point to play your new song, Means of Escape. So er hat gesagt, dass er eben das in einem Hotel mal gesehen hat. Und das für ihn der Escape, also quasi die Flucht, ist immer die Musik, und das ist eine positive Flucht. Ich meine, man könnte sich ja auch in Alkohol oder in Drogen flüchten, aber er sagt, nö, Musik, das ist ein guter Fluchtpunkt, und ich würde sagen, das ist jetzt einfach ein guter Zeitpunkt, um seinen Song Means of Escape zu spielen. Hier ist für euch Danny Bryant mit Means of Escape auf Radio Max.
Sky turned to gray. Just another morning. I wake up, feel afraid. I watch my wife lay sleeping, and inside I pray to a God I know ain't listening to a single word I say. When all hope is gone and it's getting late, I turn to you. You are the means of my escape. Every day, no use pretending. I know something gotta change. See, I got a problem. It ain't easy. tried to drown my sorrow. Now I'm drowning on dry land. Oh, hope is gone, and it's getting late. I turn to you. You are the means of my escape. Oh, baby. And life ain't supposed to be easy. I got the scars, it's living proof. What's the point in fighting? You don't care if you lose. It feels like we're chasing something long buttoned down desire. And the life that we keep wasting is pouring fuel on the fire. But no, hope is gone, and it's getting late. I turn to you. You are the means of my escape. Means of my escape.
Great! Danny Bryant, Means of Escape. Die Single ist seit 5. Juli draußen und am 20. September kommt dann das gleichnamige Album.
It was very enjoyable. Thank you for having us, gentlemen. Thank you.
Thank you. And all the best for the album, and see you in December here.
Yeah. See you at the show.
Yeah, definitely.